Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Dungeon Universalis. So I'm back in the world of Araska. It's been a couple of weeks now, and boy, these were weeks. The real world is not the same anymore, there's no doubt here. But okay, let's continue this. I also had COVID, and I had a break, and I really wasn't in the mood to do a lot of gaming. It was such terrible times, especially if you live in Europe, and the war against Ukraine. It's not that far away. I mean, it's just about 1,000 kilometers or so. It's so crazy. Whole cities are bombed there, and people die, and it's really hard to believe. Okay. Anyway, so I went away from this, and I really didn't think about that too much. So I had to kind of relearn the rules here, and I used this thing. This is really cool. If you're not playing for a couple of weeks or months, if you read this here, oh boy, it's hard to open actually, but if you read this, I mean, it's really small written and all that, but you got really a summary over pretty much all the rules of the game here, and that's fantastic. What's not included are the campaign rules and the rules for the artificial dark player, and but still, you get a pretty good idea, and you always find a couple of details there. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, I never knew that, and it's like that. So it's really that is really very helpful if you come back after a break or so. You don't have to go through the whole rules again. Now, I'm not absolutely sure if the map actually looked like that, and this is a little bit of a problem. I could make a picture, of course, but I deleted my pictures. Yeah, great. And I simply forgot that this was that I had this as part of my file, and I somehow deleted my whole picture file, and now the setup is lost. But overall, I think the campaign is not that terrible, or at least what's going on the map is not that terribly important in this game. I checked out my last video, and this pretty much looked like that. And I think I'm here now after the last adventure. You might remember this disaster in this bandit den where I nearly died. That was a pretty tough battle at the end. And that also brought me to the idea that I wanted a little bit easier. It came to a point where it really became a little frustrating. So I kind of want to modify that, especially the last boss battle. I don't like it to be that super hard. So what I'm going to do is, usually the boss gets additional attacks based on the number of heroes. So for every hero beyond the second hero, he gets an additional attack. So if you play with 4 heroes, he gets 2 additional attacks, which means he has overall 3 attacks. Now, I'm going to play it that way, that in the first combat round, the guy has 1 attack, in the second he's got 2 attacks, and from the third on, he's got then his full number of attacks. I think that makes it a little easier, especially if you lose the initiative roll in this. You're gonna die, and probably all of your guys gonna die otherwise. And that's a little bit of a problem when it comes all down to this single roll. I might be wrong about that, but this is kind of a feeling. The way it went in the last battle, it was really, really bad. and I wouldn't have stand a chance if I've lost the initiative roll. I'm pretty sure about that. I barely made it even with the initiative. So I know many people like it hard. I'm not really one of them. I'm more in for the story. My tolerance for frustration is not that high, to be honest. So I think I want it a little easier, but I guess that's fine. So we're sitting here, which is Atania, I guess. I'm not absolutely sure that I'm there, but I'm pretty sure. My adventure was here, and I basically finished the last video at the end of the adventure, and I remember that I went to the next city to heal, so I'm pretty sure that I actually went here. And I'm totally fine again. Everybody is at his full life points. She's got the mana, we all have the full fortune. So, oh, I gotta give them the fortune. So now, we see here, by the way, the year is over now, it's week 52. So that means at the next turn, the winter will start. And during winter time, in mountain areas and glacial areas, when you travel through these areas, you lose a wound, or you take a wound. Now, in addition to that, the Cyclop and the Dwarf, that's funny that I write everything here in in English, but this in German. That's a little odd. So yeah, the Cyclop and the Dwarf, they have they could take a development point and get some extra abilities, but I'm not sure if I want extra abilities, to be honest. Maybe I should save some development points for to increase my stats. I think I can also spend development points for additional fortune. So I also might consider doing that. Okay, this is pretty much it. So we're still sitting in the city here, and maybe I'm gonna buy some stuff. I'm gonna need some new potions, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so I spent a fortune at the Alchemist. I think I spent $15 or so for potions, but these things are very important, and I'm well equipped now again. I bought, I think, 2 healing herbs for $2. I think I bought 2 healing potions for $4 each. 1 dexterity potion. It's going to be valuable when unlocking doors, for example, or maybe disarming traps. A heroic potion can give you a vital boost. It helped me massively to kill the giant. And here I bought a magic scroll. I spent 1 last adventure and also some components for magic. If we meet another wizard or something, we're gonna be happy to own these. Yeah, I think that's it, but it was super expensive. I hope I don't have to. Yeah, I hope I'm not going to spend that much stuff in the next adventure. The thing is, you really have to pay a lot of maintenance in a way, right? I mean, if you buy these potions for $15, and then you got to spend in the inn another $10, for example, with the dog here. You spend $25 just to keep the level of equipment and all that. So that's pretty insane if you think about it. Now, in addition to that, I sold my chainmail, and the blacksmith had this rare thing here. I rolled above 9, and we had the Yoroi. That seems to be the name of this East Asian style armor, which is pretty cool. The chainmail also gave me a +2. It was also a heavy armor. Here we have now an additional penalty in shooting weapons, but that doesn't matter because I'm not going to use them anyway. But the cool thing is the user takes 1 less damage die against melee weapons. So this is pretty awesome. Weight is the same, but it's 16 bucks. That was a lot. I sold the chainmail for 4 bucks. You can sell your equipment for half the value. And so it was still 12 bucks. And that means I'm now sitting only on 6 bucks. That is not a lot. It's just enough to get a couple of people healed if the adventure really goes wrong. But okay. So now the plan is to go to Norkfall, or here the area, because this is where the son of, I think, the governor of Bible is held hostage, and that's our job to free this guy. So the quickest way would be right through the Guardian Hills, but because it's winter, I'm not going to take that. I don't want to lose wounds here. So I got basically 2 other options. I could take the long road like this, which is fine, I guess. But I could also go down here along the river. The problem is if I do that, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I have to face probably all 3 of these dark markers anyway. This guy is going to move straight up, so it doesn't really make a difference, I guess. And so I think I might actually take the short road here. So right now I'm going to leave the area here, and that's where these 2 will get me anyway. So we're going to move out of this and got to roll a die here. Gosh. Oh yeah, exactly. I really gotta get into the game again. It's not been so long, but the game has so much rules that it's really easy to forget it. So let's see. First we're gonna roll a die, and on a 5+ we're gonna have an event here. And that is the case. So let's see which one it is. I'm gonna get maybe a 10-sider here. That should do it. Okay, that's the 4, so we're gonna end up with this. Rumors. You get some information about a forthcoming stage in your journey that keeps you alert. The dark player randomly removes a danger marker among those placed on the campaign map. That is pretty cool. So we got these 4 markers here, one is back there. So let's see. Okay, that's a 10. So that's the 3rd one. So this one goes away. That might help. Awesome. Very good. But now we got to face these 2. So we're going to move this one in here, and I think this one goes then simply afterwards. So we've got to roll now for these markers, and yeah, let's see. I don't know. I think we don't have 10, but number 2, that's this one. That's an empty marker. Cool. False alarm. There was actually no danger. So it's looking good, and we see the 2nd one. Okay, that's a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's a bounty hunter. Several warriors ambush you as you rest by a bonfire. Both one of the heroes and the dark player must roll initiative. Apply a +1 to the result of the latter, but he will lose in case of a tie. If the dark player wins, he deals 3 damage dice to each character in the group. If he loses, he will only cause 1 damage die to each character. Okay, that's not good. That's not good at all. Now, one of the heroes. So I think I can choose one, and of course I'm going to choose her. So let's see. We got a couple of good modifiers, but he also has a +1. So let's see. Ah, that was bad. That was really bad. So he's got a 6, I got a 4. Maybe it's still good. Let's see. So we got the sharp senses, which I don't think. Shit. I don't think that's good enough. But I can re-roll. I'm going to spend a fortune. And by the way, one more thing. I spent his. Experience points for 1 development point, and I bought myself a fortune. So yeah, but I'm gonna. Maybe I actually. You know what? I think character may reroll results of 1 when rolling for initiative. Pretty awesome. So actually, I can reroll this one here. Oh great, that's a 2. So, but it might be enough now. Let's see. First of all, I'm going to take back the fortune and I'm going to do the calculations. So I got a +1 from the Warhound. I got a +1 from my dark senses, sharp senses. And I think this is actually it. Yeah, so I got a +2. That would bring me to a 7. And he's got a 6 but gets a +1, but he loses on ties. So it is enough. Awesome. But he still costs 1 damage die to each character. That's not good. So we start with him. And that is probably a hit. Yeah. Yeah, that's a hit. So we take a wound. Let's see about her. She's fine. The dwarf, fine. The wizard, also fine, because of my magic amulet here, which gives me a +1 armor. Otherwise, I would be in trouble. Awesome, so that wasn't too bad. Wow, still kind of close here. That was a nasty one, the bounty hunter. But okay, we're done with that. And this thing here also moves, I guess. Okay, now let's continue the movement. We reach the road here. So again, we got to roll a die, and on a 4+, we're going to have an encounter. That's not the case. We're going to go on now here. That brings us to the plane again. And we have an encounter here. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah. We're gonna need a 12-sider actually to really cover all cards. Let's do that again. Okay, that's again a 5. So there we go. Deluge. A torrential rain falls for several consecutive days that delays the trip and forces you to double your effort. The fields become swamps, and it is hardly possible to distinguish the roads from the rough land. All the characters lose 1 vitality point unless a pack of provisions is spent to feed everyone. Yeah, that sucks. We don't have that. Shit. That's really bad. However, oh no, she cannot do that. That's a shame. Yeah, seems we got to live with that. That's not good. That's not good at all. So, shit. A really bad start here. Okay. Okay, and now we make it to Norkfall. The problem is we cannot go to the inn there and simply rest or something. So it should be like this, I guess. Because I don't have enough money. I could send him to the inn. Well, we'll see what happens now in the next... in this one here. I'm going to go to the... Yeah. I think I'm going to take the road here. Guess I prefer that. So... Let's see, on a 4+, Nope, no encounter this time. Okay, yeah, so we're sitting here and not in perfect shape. But, you know, I guess we're gonna... I mean, you know, what I could do, though, is I could go to a tavern or so, maybe, and try to buy some provisions. It's not that expensive, and we could exactly heal. Maybe that's what I actually should do. So, yeah, I'm going to enter here, Norfolk, I guess. So we got to roll again, and this time it's... Let's see what we need. A new deck of cards. Okay, so it's a castle. So we're gonna roll again here. First on a 4+. Nope, very good. And actually I rolled a 1. I don't remember if I rolled a 1 here. So that means, because it's the next year, that if there would be some special adventure, it would be unlocked here. I don't remember if I rolled once here too. I gotta check that. But, okay. So no encounter here, and that means we can now visit, I guess, the tavern or something, and I'm pretty sure we can buy provisions there, and in this way we can simply heal, and then we could we could start the adventure in a perfect shape. Okay, I'm down to $1, but I was at the inn again, and I had a good meal, and I guess we're good now. I didn't rest at the inn, but yeah, I bought basically 5 packs of provisions, which you can use to heal a wound, and there we go. Okay, now we're going to continue our journey. We're going to leave the area, and let's check out a thing here. Yeah. Okay. So we got to roll again, and let's hope. I'm going to take the road now again, and that's going to be an encounter. Let's hope this one isn't that bad again. So that's number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. That's an area event. Roads are sometimes impassable or simply happen to be even more dangerous than remote inhabited areas. Great. A giant may have left his hiding place to go and steal cattle, or crocodile may have left his swamp, or a scared place may lay hidden on the side of the road. Draw 1 travel event card from the area your character is traveling by and apply its contents. Oh, so that basically, I think that means we got to draw one of the planes here. Okay, so kind of like that idea, but I hope that the outcome isn't so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh fuck, that's an ambush. You've been ambushed by a group of enemies. They remained hidden by the bed of a stream and have waited for the right occasion to attack you while you rest. Each hero and mercenary in the party suffers 3 damage dice unless a perception roll is passed. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. Or I could play the quest Ambush. Both is bad. It really is, and I'm not sure what that actually means, to be honest. Unless a perception roll is passed. Does that mean every hero has to pass a perception roll to avoid that? Or does that mean one person has passed a perception roll to avoid that? Honestly, I have no clue what that means. I think I'm going to make it easy here. I don't want to do this epic event. I don't want to do all that shit. I just want to do the adventure, why I'm here. and all that crap basically just delays me. And so I think what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to pass a single perception roll. She's going to try to do that, and I hope she can. Otherwise, I'm in a really bad mood. So, however, it's not an initiative roll. Is that a problem? Well, she got a +1 to perception, the sharp senses. Okay, she's got a +1, 2, 3. So basically she needs a 7. That's a little bit risky. I mean, I can re-roll. Oh boy. I cannot use the links though. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. I'm not happy about it, but I'm really gonna try that now. So let's hope that works out. I'm gonna need a 7. And there it is. I was lucky here. Okay, so I guess the ambush is done. I'm not sure if I read that right, but it really is not easy to... I don't know. I mean, it says a perception roll. It doesn't say everybody has to do it or something. So, I don't know. And frankly, I don't care too much either. So, we finally made it to this thing. And I hope we can now finally start our next adventure in a good shape. Okay, so it's the next day and I just checked my mails and, well, I received great news. The company who did Dungeon Universalis, I think it's called Ludic Dragon or something like that, they announced that there's going to be a Kickstarter probably in June this year, and they're going to do a reprint. But not only that, they are going to do a big expansion box, which should include a ton of more stuff. So we get more items, more different monsters, an additional part of the map. And I assume there's also going to be then a new campaign, so new skills. So that is really great news, and yeah, can't wait. So let's see, we're ready now to start our next adventure. So let's see the introduction. Count Bacter of Norkfall has hired you to free his firstborn son, Daniel, kidnapped by a group of bandits who demand a ransom. The nobleman refuses to pay them so as not to show weakness and asks you to find and release his son and bring him home safe and sound. Less than a day's walk away, you find a house where the prisoner might be found, according to some information provided by several locals who have seen suspicious movements. As you study the place, the possible accesses and escapes, you notice that several men leave the building and take the road to a nearby village. If they took long enough to return, you might be able to face the few guards who remain at the site. Okay. So the goal is free Daniel from his cell and help him reach the goal before the end of the last turn of the heroes. He mustn't be knocked out. We fight the bandits. Special rules. So we got a time limit. The heroes will have the following turns to carry out the mission. 18 minus the number of heroes starting the adventure. So that means we got 14 I'm gonna need a marker for that. Yeah, there we go. That's the time marker. So that means we got 14 turns. I'm gonna place that here, I guess. Let's do it this way and start up. Let's do it. Want to be sure that we don't miss anything here. So it's 14 turns, and reduce 1 turn for each fortune point used by the group of heroes. Few obstacles. Obstacles cards may not be activated in this scenario except when heroes try to open doors or step on exploration arrows. Okay, setup. And here it's getting a little bit tricky. You will need the reserve point counter. The dark player will start with as many reserve points as the victory points of the group of heroes divided by 3. I have to calculate that again. It's a little tricky. I don't really remember how much I had, so let's find out about that first. It's a little tricky. I'm not totally sure. It might be 70. I don't really know, but I think it could be 70. So let's divide that by 3. And I think you usually round down. That would be 68, I guess. That doesn't make a lot of sense. It's 69 then. So it's 23, right? I guess it's 23. So let's get a marker there or 2. So that means he's probably at 23. Okay, actually I think I'm at 68, but that doesn't change anything. I think she had the herbalist from the start. So I think I'm at 68 points. Maybe only at 64. It's really a little hard to tell. But okay. Let's assume it's right now. 23 here. And then achievement points will not be taken into account in this quest, but you may use the counter to count the number of turns remaining. The dark player's card deck is not used. The dark player... What? If the dark player is an AI, a number of dark player decks will be used, built in the following way. Yeah, I did that already. So we got obstacle cards, only 1 poison dart, 1 crossfire, and 3 locked doors. We have that here. Power cards. You must add 1 reinforcement card when 1 hero takes part in the adventure. 2, if 4 or 5 heroes are taking cards. I did that too. And the encounter cards, 1 enemy spot, and that's where it gets tricky. It says 1 enemy spotted card and 1 wandering creature, 1 for each hero. Now what does that mean? So I think what it means is, the basic idea is that there are not that many enemies in the house, right? We saw them leaving the house, so I guess there are not that many enemies in there. So the way I constructed that is, I took 1 enemy spotted card, and I took 1 wandering creature card for each hero. That's what I did. However, there are only 3 wandering creature cards in there, so I took only 3. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have a deck of 4 cards here, which is not that unusual. Usually these decks are not that big. The enemies to the enemy cards. And that means that we have 1 enemy spotted and 3 wandering creatures. I hope that's right. Yeah, the characters of the IA will have Daniel as the priority target of their attacks as soon as he is liberated. Okay, great. So let's get this going. I think I gotta press here. Yeah, okay. So we have this corridor here. Let's see. There we go. entrance space here. We have a door on this side. Just like this. And the guys are starting here, so there we go. Let's see, I'm not sure. I think we can probably do it like this. Okay. So, let's see. So, the thing is, in this adventure, we don't have to care about safe zones, because you cannot play obstacles for leaving a safe zone. So therefore, we can basically just run through the areas, and it doesn't matter at all. So that's we really have to remember this thing up there. So we go into the first turn, and I'm gonna move with her 1, 2, 3 spaces, and I will immediately open the door. So let's see. Okay, so we don't have a trap here, and the door is open. Okay, and we got our first room here. So let's set this up. Okay, so there we go. This is our room. Here we have barrels and boxes. And now we roll if there's going to be an enemy in there. And that is not the case, it seems. So that means now we're still in the first turn, and we can now run with the others. So let's see. It's really not that easy to, if you haven't played for a couple of weeks, you really got to get back into the game and have a little more energy than I had at the end of the last campaign, or at the end of the last adventures. You know, I'm willing to try that again. It's yeah, it's kind of cool to be back here. So he's got 5, but I think he's got a -1 if I remember that right, because of his armor. Oh boy, that's not great. That's just a 4, but so you can run basically 8 spaces, but that's okay. That's still his maximum. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and let's move with him, the Cyclop. So he can move 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh fuck! You know what? We forgot the dog. I need the dog. I gotta. It's okay. We can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm gonna go here. And then it's the wizard, the sorceress. And she also probably moves 10 spaces. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm gonna go here, which leaves me with the option to maybe search the boxes here, but I don't know if I have the time. We'll see. And we're gonna get the dog. Okay, so there we go. There's now also the dog on the side. Okay, and now we go into the next turn, 13. And I think at the start of that turn, I want to start with her searching these boxes. I don't have to turn around for that. I think I just have to be adjacent. So let's keep it like this. And we're going to roll with 2 dice. And however, you know, actually I think I want to go with her first, opening the door, because if there is no enemy behind, but I think there will be an enemy. It's pretty likely. We haven't, The rule is if you haven't spawned in the last 2 rooms, but I'm not sure about that first room because you never can spawn in the first room. So maybe the next room is still not extra important. I don't know. Yeah. You know, I think I'm gonna kind of might waste her movement this way, but I think I'm actually going to start with her. Okay, so we're going to go through that door. Let's place it a little more like that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have that much points? Exactly 6. Fantastic. Now that leaves me with the action to open the door. So we're going to roll a die and hope for the best here. And yeah, that's good. No trap. That's pretty cool. So the door is open. And let's see what we find. Okay, we got another corridor here. There we go. Let's see if we have the room here. Yep. Just like this. And let's place the 2 markers here. It's not really that important, but let's do it anyway. Okay, there we go. And now we're gonna roll. If we got an enemy here, and I think I'm only gonna roll once. I'm not absolutely sure. Usually it says if you haven't spawned an enemy in the last 2 rooms, you got to roll twice, but you're not allowed to spawn an enemy in the first room. So I think it's okay to not count this room. I'm not totally sure about that. Okay, so no enemies there. And yeah, we're doing okay, I guess, until now. Problem is I'm kind of blocking the door now, but yeah, that's not too bad, I guess. So let's see, we're gonna move now. So I'm gonna start with this guy, I think. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Need two steps to move through this lady. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I guess. Boy, the dog blundered. That's not so great. So basically he can only move half his movement value, which is 3. So that means I would kind of I can only move basically here, because otherwise I'd be stuck with her. That's not great, but it's not that bad either, I guess. And now I'm gonna search the barrels here with the wizard. And that's a 9. That's pretty good, I guess. 1 random common object is found. Okay, so let's draw one here. Okay, so we ended up with a mandrake root. Remove the diseased condition, +1 to use his intelligence when dispelling. The character can use it as soon as he declares he wants to dispel a spell. Cool, that is good. So we give it to her. And then she still has her movement. So she can move 5 spaces. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. So we go into the next turn now. And I think I want to start with this guy, because I want his sharp senses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to bring him here. And then we're going to move her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as an action, we're going to then reveal the next section. So first we're gonna have to roll for obstacles. And again, no, so we were really lucky. So let's see what we find. Okay. Huh. That's a tiny, tiny section, and we have a door there. That's a little odd. Are these two? It looks like it's kind of a double thing here. So I'll find something. So now we gotta roll twice to see if we see any creatures. And that is not the case here, and still no creatures. Okay, excuse me. So I want to get this straight here. So I think everybody... Oh boy, already things are getting a little bit confused. Shit. I went in here, and then I went through... so I opened this room in the first turn, I opened this room in the second turn. So that was the third turn. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2... No, I think it's actually... We started here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 11 turns left. Okay, let's put it here, and if we're at 0, it's over. I think that's how it should be. We started here, opened the door. Second turn we opened this door. Third turn we opened that door. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I think she was last this turn. Yeah, she... Or was she first? Holy crap, I don't remember. I gotta check that again. No, I think she was actually first, because everybody else kind of ran. Except for her, but she ran once. I think she should have been first, yeah. Okay. So I wonder if I should take the risk and open this door here, without having all this initiative advantage. I mean, that can be pretty brutal. I think this is a risk I simply cannot take. So therefore, I'm going to move ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. I'm going to move with this guy here. With this guy probably here. And with her, I'm going to move here. And then we're going to go into the next turn, which is number 10 then. And I'm going to move 2 spaces and open the door. I really need the initiative. I think that is so important in this game. And I don't want to risk losing the advantage the scout has. Okay, again, we don't have any obstacles at the door. Oh. I was really lucky. I'm doing really well here. So let's see. Okay, we got a tiny room, and that might be a cell. What is written here? No, it just says beds. So it's probably not his cell. Let's find the room. Okay, so there's our room. And we got to roll, and we got to roll again 2 dice. If there will be somewhere in there. Okay. And yeah, this time we have someone in there. So let's draw a card. And it's a wandering creature. So yeah. So let's see. We're gonna check the bandits here. There we are. Okay, we gotta add 1 to the result for every 30 victory points. So I think this time we have to add 2 actually, because we are already above 60. Not totally sure about that, honestly, but I think so. So let's see what we find here. Okay, that's a 5. So it's 1 human bandit with axe and shield, and 1 shooter with a crossbow. And that's cost this guy 2 points. And the card goes away. Okay. So there we are. Here's the guy with an axe, and he also has a shield, which we don't see here. And this guy has the gosh, what it's called? Crossbow. Okay. So let's roll for initiative. They have, if I remember that right, they have the Watchman. No, that's an additional victory point. The additional value point. What is their standard skill? I think they have this, yeah, the ambush thing. And I think that gives them a +1. Yeah, the +1 to his initiative rolls. If the group wins the initiative, characters with ambush may reroll their first roll failed attack roll. So that's not so good. So let's hope we will win this. But we have definitely an advantage here. So let's see. Okay, yeah, that's a win for us because we have the dog and the sharp senses. So we got a +2, and therefore we win this. Awesome. Okay, let's see what we can do now. So first of all, we go now into the next turn, and yeah, that's a little tricky. We really got to be fast here. So let's see, if I shoot the shooter, I think that's what I want to do. So 3 spaces away from him, so I don't get a negative modifier. He's not more agile than I am, so pretty much, yeah, no negative modifiers here. I get a +1 to shooting. I can use the fast shooting, which reduces this again. So I'm in a pretty good shape. I think I need only a 5 here to hit the guy. Okay, that's good enough. And I do 4 damage dice. And he's got an armor of 3. 3, there we go. Okay, that's pretty good. So he is already wounded. So he takes 3 damage. Should I try to kill him? Now the thing is, this is still my first. Yeah, I think I want to try that. Yeah. So let's do a second shot here. And that is just good enough, I think. Yeah, the 5 should be fine. So yeah, that's a hit. And that means we can roll another 4 dice, and we killed him. Awesome. Yeah, that's very cool. And so that was my attack, and I still have an action left. So I will move now, and I'm going to move right here, I guess, preparing to open the next section. Okay. Now, Let's see. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. So I guess I'm gonna activate the Cyclop and go into Berserker mode. And it's 1, 2, 3. And I can attack the guy. Now let's see if I get all these modifiers right. So I got a combat value of 5. The Berserker basically gives me a -1. And I think this is all there is. So got a combat value of 4. This guy has a combat value of 3. He's got the axe, which gives him a -1. So he's got a combat value of 2. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Oh, I think the axe... Yeah, the axe goes through armor. Reduces armor by 1. Okay, so let's see. That's not good. But... I think that's not good enough. So he's got a... no, he's got 2 less basically, but he's got... So it would be exactly a tie, but he's got the higher agility. Yeah, so okay, that was not good, but I have a second attack because of the Berserker mode. Oh boy, that is bad. That's really not good. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I gotta check the pushing thing here because he's got a shield. So let me just check that. He might have been able to push me back, and if that was the case, I think I could not have done that second attack. Okay, let's see. So yeah, actually he has the option to do that because he's got the shield. He can push me back, and this is something I always messed up. I constantly forgot about this pushing thing. Sometimes I remembered it, but most of the time I forgot about it. So he pushed me back, which means I'm not going to be able to attack a second time because, yeah, I'm no longer engaged basically. And he cannot follow me if he defends. He can just push me to the side, but that helps him anyway. So okay, and now it's the other guys. I'm not sure if I actually want to help here. I think he should be able to deal with this guy on his own. I think what I want to do instead is maybe I should try an attack here, but nah, I don't think that's necessary. No. So what I want to do instead is I'm going to try to move 2 spaces like this. I'm going to move her here, and this is it. And we're going to move into this direction, and this guy will try to finish him off on his own. He should be able to do that. Okay, so it's now the dark player's turn, and he obviously moves 1 square and attacks. Okay, and that is not good enough. Yeah, no way. And then it's my turn again, and we have still 8 turns to go. So I think I'm kind of... I wonder how that works. Now, if I should... I think the thing is, if I reveal this thing now, and there is another creature then here, then it is not automatically a new turn that starts, which would be then to my advantage. So I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to try to reveal. I'm not going to try to attack him first, but I'm going to try to advance here. So this guy will try to reveal the next section. So first we check for obstacles, and yeah, this time we do have an obstacle. And that's a poisoned dart. Okay. It affects the square occupied by the character who triggered it. Okay, so we got to try to get this perception test done. And let's see. So first we have to so let's see, we got the eagle eye. Does that help? I think it might help. Detecting traps, yeah, okay, that's cool. So that's +1, and we got twice the sharp senses, so I got a +3 value, meaning I need a 7 to detect this poison dart. And I easily have that. Very good, very, very good. Okay, so the thing is now, I'm not sure what that actually means. Do I have to step back or something? I kind of revealed that. I gotta check what happens now on this square, on this space here. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky now. It says, when a trap is detected, the action is not carried out. So, I'm not sure, but I think what I can, I mean, right now I cannot reveal the next section, right? Because the action is not carried out. However, I think what I can do is, I can, for example, use someone else's ability to disarm the trap, and then I can still reveal, as an action with her, the next section. I think that makes sense. So let's see. We gotta be adjacent. Now I think what I could do is, I could try to do that with the wizard. If I take the picklocks, I think I can do that as a quick action. Or is it an action? I'm pretty sure it's a quick action to take the picklocks from the dwarf. But I also got to check that. Okay, so here's the thing. This is already getting far too complicated. I think I'm simply going to take my dexterity potion as a quick action. It's a pretty big deal for that stupid die, but I don't want to take too many risks here. And that gives me a +1 for this turn and the next 2 ones. The plus, yeah, it's a +1. No, it's a +2 to dexterity and a +1 to a couple of other skills. Okay, and sadly I cannot take the picklocks from the dwarf. He can give them to me. That's an action. He can give them to me. That's a quick action, but I think I cannot take them. I find that a little odd, but I'm going to follow the rules here strictly. Anyway, we're going to need an 8 to avoid that poison dart, so we got a +2 here. We don't have any negative modifiers. I think there's no other advantage here. No, so we're going to need a 6. And yeah, I mean, we got some fortune. Maybe we're lucky. And we are. Very good. So we avoided the dart. That's pretty cool. Yeah, what does that mean? So we disarmed the trap. So the bad thing is we cannot reveal the section now, because that, I think, is an additional action. That's all a little tricky now. I find that weird. Very weird, very weird indeed. So do I want to try to do it with the dwarf? I don't think so. I got a -1 modifier here. Shit. No, I guess we have limited time, so I guess we go for it anyway. So I'm going to do it with the dwarf. Reveal the new section. It's a risk, but hey, who cares? Let's do it. And let's see what we find. Oops. Don't want to show anyone my pen. So there we go. We reveal the next section. Okay, that's another corridor, and so let's see. We got 2 doors here. So we got 1 door right there, and another one, and another one here at the bottom. Okay, so let's see if there are any creatures in there. Yeah, that's not that great, so let's hope it's only a wandering creature. Fuck, this time it's the enemy spotted. That could become a problem because now, although not for sure, the closest one is this lady this time. And I think actually, if there's already a battle going on, we have to check initiative with the closest hero. So in this case, that could be actually a real advantage for us. So it's an enemy spotted, so let's see who comes into play here now. Oh, there we are. And you gotta roll. You gotta add 2, I guess. Oh boy, that's an 8. Holy crap. That's a lot. We're talking about 5 people here. That's tough. Okay, so this is getting now a little bit complicated. We have 1 dwarf bandit with a battle axe. That's this guy here. Yeah. Okay, great. 1 shooter with an arquebus. That's this guy here. We got 2 rat folk bandits. So we take these guys here as rat folk bandits, 1 and another one of them. And they have a short sword and a sling, and we got an elf bandit right here. And the elf bandit comes with leather armor, scimitar, dagger, and longbow. Okay. So that means now how to place these guys. That's where it's already getting interesting. So this is a corridor. Creatures with the lowest value points will be placed first, starting at the furthest end. So we got the shooter, the rat folk, yeah, these 2, the shooter and the rat folk bandits. And the ones with no ranged attacks is placed first, and they all have ranged attacks because the rat folk bandits have a sling and the shooter has the arquebus. Okay. A long range weapon. What is a long range weapon? Ranged attacks or spells has a long range weapon. Okay, so I think they're pretty much all on the same level, these 2 guys. So maybe we take simply the 1 weapon that has the longer range. So is the range written here? The arquebus has a range of 18, while the The sling has a range of 20. Holy crap. So we're going to play these guys. We're going to place them at the very back, just like this. Then we're going to place the guy with the arquebus here. Oh, and we still have this guy. Oh, but he has higher value points. So that means he's going to be placed a little closer. Oh boy. But they cannot be placed... that's another thing. They cannot be placed closer than 2 spaces away. 3 squares away. That makes it tricky. What does that mean? I gotta check that. Actually, they have to be revealed more than 2 squares away from the hero who revealed the new section. Now that was the dwarf, so basically they all have to be placed in here somehow. So I guess, I'm not totally positive to be honest, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to place these guys then probably simply like this. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. So they all come from back there. And yeah, this is it. Okay, great. So now I got to do the initiative. And let's see. So I think we got to do the initiative with the guy who is the best of them. And I think we simply have one here. We probably have one here who's got the ambush ability. So that gives him a +1. But my closest hero is luckily her. So that means I get a couple of bonus. Oh boy. That's pretty rough. I don't want that. I want to make them re-roll this. However, wait a minute. I can re-roll the 1. Okay, that's not going to be enough. Anyway, I want to make them re-roll this. Okay, so that means we win. I don't know how helpful that is, but I think it is some kind of advantage. Okay, so let's see. She already activated, and she disarmed the trap, so she cannot do anything in this turn. This guy already... He revealed the thing, but he still has a movement action. Now the problem is, if I'm starting to move against one of these guys, we're going to take defensive shots, but I cannot attack them anyway, so I might as well say, hey, I'm just going to place myself in a way that I take the attacks. Is that really something I want to do? I think it's probably still the best option. Yeah, so I'm going to move here 1, 2 spaces, I guess. I cannot attack, so I'm just going to move there. And then I can still move with her, and 1, 2... And she can use a spell. Sadly not the God Crush them, but every result equal to or greater than a target deals 1 damage. That's nice, but I think the green flame is pretty cool. Choose a target, he suffers 5 damage dice. Adjacent enemy characters suffer 2 damage dice. That is pretty good. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think I'm going to do this guy here. I'm going to attack him. So I simply got to do a roll of 5. I didn't make that. I'm an experienced wizard, so I can use this, and I can re-roll. Okay, this time it was better. So I was a success. I got to spend a mana. That means now this guy suffers 5 damage. Okay, let's hope for the best here. This is the elf. So let's see. The elf has an armor of 4, I guess. He's got the leather armor, and he's got 4 life points. That's not good. Do I want to reroll that? Yeah, I think I actually want to reroll that. The problem is that costs me a turn. Ah, shit. Yeah, if I spend fortune, I'm going to lose a turn. And I think I already spent some. Oh yeah, I think I did spend some fortune earlier on for the initiative roll. So I already lost a turn there. So I'm not going to spend that fortune. I'm going to accept the... So he's going to take 2 wounds. Okay. And there we go. That's a shame. But everybody adjacent takes at least also 2 wounds. So that's not so bad. So we start with the dwarf. Or not 2 wounds, but 2 damage die. Okay, that's 1 damage for the dwarf. The first rat folk bandit, that's probably, no, that's not, actually it's no damage at all. The second one, he takes 1 damage. Let's place that here. And then the guy with the arquebus. Okay, he also takes 1 damage. So in general, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that great, but we did a couple of damage points here. And now this guy is going to try to fight him. So he's still in berserker mode here. Okay, that was a hit. So that gives me... Wait a minute, he's got a shield if I'm right about that. If I remember that right, this guy has a shield, so you can try to block. I think on a 5+. Nope. Okay, so that means I do 6 damage dice. That's a human bandit with a shield, so he's got an armor of 3. There we go. That is good enough. Yeah, we killed him. Okay, at least something. So we killed this guy. That was my attack. So now I still have my movement. And I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I have to go here, right? And face these fuckers. I don't know if that's such a great idea, to be honest. But I don't know what else to do. I mean, I don't want to... Yeah, I think I have to do it. That's gonna be tough. But okay, I mean, these guys back there, they cannot shoot. And I don't know if this guy can even shoot. It's gonna be hard for him. Maybe he can. So maybe we can survive that. I think it might not be so bad. Okay, but honestly, oh, actually, wait a minute. God, I'm confused. Don't we start the next combat turn right now? And don't I start that because I won the initiative? So here's the thing. I got to check that out a little more. I think what happened is so we were in this combat turn. And it was my turn, right? And... so I revealed this section, and then I killed this guy. And usually he would be allowed to fight back in this turn, but I killed him so he couldn't. But these guys, I think they were not allowed to do anything in this turn. So we enter now the next combat turn. And that means it is again my turn before they can actually fight back. I think that's what happens. Because they were not allowed to fight in this turn. They can fight in the next turn. But I'm going to be the one who starts the next turn. But that's something I have to check. So I kind of messed this up a little bit. So what should have happened is, if I read that right here, there's this weird table here. I find that. Let's see if I find the table here. Now it says, enemies appear during a combat turn as a new section is revealed. And then if the heroes win, a new turn begins for the heroes. So, okay, we should have had a new turn. So I think this actually goes down one more space. And I think I should have been able to really do a new turn. So that means she activated, this guy fought this guy and killed him. But I'm going to move a little later with him. And I would be allowed to do an attack with him. And I would also be allowed to do the attack with her. That's how I see it. Because these two guys still have their full action. So the guy moves in here and attacks the dwarf. And so let's see. The dwarf is wounded. Okay, he's not wounded. He's got a combat value of 4. So I think, I wonder if I should use my fast attacks. I don't really know about that. I got a 5. It's a little bit tricky. The problem is, though, he's got a shield. So that means I gotta change my weapon as a quick action to my double axe. Okay. So I got a -1. And, that's a little bit tricky. So basically we both have a 4. Yeah, I think I want to use the fast attacks here. So that gives me the option to roll 3 dice, while this guy obviously only rolls 2 dice. Okay, so I win. I got a 9. He's got a 5, so that's a clear win. And now he can try to shield. And he didn't make it. And now I can do damage, and I can do a lot of damage if I'm lucky. I have a -1 on his armor, and I do 6 damage dice. So let's hope for the best here. The guy has 5. I don't know if I can kill him, but he's already down 1. So let's see. Oh, that was bad. Holy crap, was that bad. Do I want to spend a fortune point here? I'm really thinking about it. I mean, it's going to be very hard to... Boy, was that bad. I basically lose another turn if I do that. But I think I should do it anyway. I think I want to do that. So I'm going to spend a fortune point here. This is just too bad. It's just so frustrating not to do it. It's too tempting. You want to do this. So let's go for it. Okay, that is much better. We do 4 damage. That kills the dwarf. I think it was worth it, because he already had 1 damage. I think that was worth it. So he goes away, and the cool thing is now we can advance, which means that these guys, at least one of them, will not be able to shoot at me. That is pretty cool. And now it's her. She moves here 1 space, and she shoots at this guy. So we got to be a little careful. We might hit him, but I hope it's not going to happen. So, yeah, let's do this shot. We can shoot twice. We got a modifier for -1 because I moved. So I'm going to need a 6 to hit here. But I got my dexterity potion. That gives me a +1. And this is now the next turn, so I think it should be like this. Okay, that's a hit. So we do 4 damage. These are... Who is that guy? That's the elf. Okay, let's see. Now the elf bandits already seem to have taken 2 damage, I guess. And he's got the leather armor, exactly. So maybe I can kill it. That is 1 damage. Okay. It's not bad, though. It's not that bad. So he's now... we need more damage markers. There we go. He's now also down to 3. And I got a second shot. No. Just 2 dice. Okay, great. That's another hit. And he's dead. Awesome. So this isn't going too bad for me, actually. Okay, there we go. And now this guy is allowed to move. He basically killed the one, and now he can move. I guess I'm going to move him here. Okay, cool. I got to load this up now. I know it kind of sucks. I'm in the middle of the combat, but it's getting late here, and I really have to load this up. So I got to remember it's them. They're going to activate. This guy will not be able to shoot, though, because he's engaged. So he can't do it, which is great. These 2 guys, I don't know. I mean, he can. I don't know if he has line of sight on this guy. Maybe he does. There's a little bit of a risk involved, but he might shoot at the dwarf. But I think, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he shoots at her. And I'm not sure, maybe he moves 1 space then or something. We'll see about that. He might actually move 1 space and then also shoot. But I think it's not looking so bad. These guys, they only have a sling. I think the sling is not terribly dangerous. Got a -1 on shooting, 3 damage dice. So yeah, I think it's so this guy is gone. All these are gone. That is good. That's pretty helpful. Makes it easier. Okay. So yeah, it's not looking bad. The only problem we have is we're very much down here with our turns. And actually I forgot to pay for the points here. You had to pay 8 points for that. So he's down on 11 points. Okay. So I'm going to be back in this battle in the next video, and yeah, hope to see you then. Bye.